Yes, you're still watching Business Morning right here. We're discussing food. I was just telling my guests right here, like, I love talking about food. Well, do you blame me? It's what we need most to stay alive. And so it's flour mills of Nigeria. They're discussing food. Well, their business is food. And they're talking about building a sustainable food system. And they do have one innovation they believe has been making contribution. I believe this is the 4th year this is running. But let me just not go into it. We have Mira Mehta. She's a co-founder and chief executive officer of Tomato Juice. Right?
Yes. Good morning, Amy.
Why is a white woman a Tomato Juice CEO? Forgive me, but you know,
of course, everybody asks.
I know you did that on purpose because you know it does certainly catch attention.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know, I came to Nigeria in 2008, so I've actually been here for quite a while now. And I fell in love with the country. I fell in love with the food, the jollof rice, the stew. And I came to find that all of the tomato paste that Nigerians are cooking with every day is imported from China. And I was wondering, well, can't we make it locally? And so that was sort of the birth of Tomato Juice. Of course, the name is very catchy. We wanted to demonstrate to the consumer that this is a local brand made by Nigerians for Nigerians.
Okay.
And that's sort of why we're here.
All right. And then we have Sadiq Usman, the Group Director, Strategy, and also a stakeholder with Flour Mill Nigeria. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, but we're not here to discuss tomatoes. We're obviously here to discuss what FBN is doing with an innovation, the prize FMN Innovation for Innovation. Let me start with you there. What's this about? And this has been going on for like 3 years. I think there's a 4th edition.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you very much, Ini, for having us. Well, the FMN Prize for Innovation is in its 4th season, as we call it. And essentially, it's FMN's way of celebrating and empowering Nigerian SMEs that are playing in the food and agri-business space. We want to showcase innovators. We want to showcase companies. We want to showcase entrepreneurs that are doing positive and making positive impact in that space. That's what the Prize for Innovation is around. And so every year we have a theme that we try and showcase people, and we get entries, and we have a judging panel, which Mira has been on since season 1. I've missed 1 season, but I'm back this season as a judge myself, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And this year, we're talking about the livestock sector and innovative practices around there. So we've got quite a few entries, about 2,000 entries, and we've managed to whittle down those entries to the top 6. So we're looking forward to judging them.
All right. So Mira, do tell us how this works. So and why livestock at this time? Is there anything in particular? Of course, it's still part of food, the food chain and all of that, but why livestock and how does it work?
Well, I think there are a number of reasons why livestock is a very important, element for us to talk about. And each year, FMN really tries to choose a theme that is prescient to the country, that is, very topical. Of course, if you look around the world, in the U.S., where I come from, bird flu has wiped out eggs across the country. We've also had, bird diseases here in Nigeria. On average, Nigerians are consuming far less protein than what is recommended by the WHO. And so I think, as we look at how are we going to feed 200 million, working towards 300 million people, how do we make sure that they're getting high nutrition, high energy, high protein, in addition to just making their tummies full with, swallow or bread or whatever else is on the table? So I think that really talking about protein, talking about livestock, making sure that we're able to get these things, make these things locally, removing ourselves from import dependency is very, very crucial in this part of the food chain. So to me, that's part of the reason why it's strategic.
I like the part about getting them locally. I think that's what we're missing in Nigeria. So anything that drives domestic supply and production is really important. But how does it work? So people apply, go online, how does it work really?
It's a great question. So there is an application process. In season 1, 700 applicants applied and 5 finalists were selected.
How do they apply?
So, Sadiq, let me turn it over to you, because I think it's an online application.
Online application. Usually we call for entries on the earlier part of the year.
And that's through
late
the FMN
December,
website.
January, FMN website, social media handles, and we call for entries all around the country. you must be Nigerian to apply. I think that's the only requirement.
So me right now for this.
Out of it.
She's as Nigerian as they come these days.
All right, so we love you.
Thank you.
She's as Nigerian as they come. So we apply, and then based on the criteria that we set up and we advise well in advance, we have a pre-selection that takes place. And we then do interviews and other assessment, and then we whittle down this to a top 6 or top 5.
Which is where we are at this
Correct.
time. So over the years, being a judge on this, what do you look out for? What's outstanding about the contestants? For instance, the 6 that you have chosen for this final. What stands out?
I think we have about 5 or 6 key criteria that we try and look out for. One is this a big idea? Is this a big idea? Is this something that is innovative, right? What is the adaptability of that idea to the Nigerian context? Because we're actually seeing some amazing entries that are solving global issues or issues in some other countries, but we also want to solve for the Nigerian context. How scalable is that idea? Is it, what are they going to use the proceeds of the winning or the grant that we're going to give them and support? What's the quality of their team or their support network that they have? I think those are the entries, things we look out for, Mira.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, looking at traction, are you already operating? Is this an idea, or have you actually started to do this thing as either a full-time job or sometimes even as a side hustle, right? Are you really committed to doing this? Do you have the traction? Is it a big idea, like you said? And I think, what is your innovation process? Is this innovative? Is this going to solve a big problem for Nigerian, consumers and eaters of food? I think those are really the things. So, Sadiq, you kind of hit it on the head.
Thank you.
So when you look at the 3 editions you have had so far, what would you say is most outstanding? Perhaps one idea that has, you've seen it grown big and has really made impact. Because at the end of the day, you want it to go beyond the prize and the celebration to really making impact and contributing to the food production of the country. I think that will go for both of you.
Yeah.
I can start off if you want. So, one of the things I really love about the FMN Prize for Innovation, Imi, is that all the finalists usually, are so passionate about what they do, and they all have really great ideas. And of course, we can't support every one of them. I've been on the side of the table where I'm pitching to judges, and I know how difficult it is. And I think one of the things I really appreciate about the FMN Prize for Innovation is that we give feedback to all the contestants. And we've had contestants that didn't make the top 3 that are actually continuing to grow. So one example I always like to use is El Gazelle. She makes very innovative kilishi products out of chicken, out of pork, out of goat, out of all these inventive foods, beautiful flavor. She wasn't a top winner. She wasn't even a top 3, but she took that initiative and took the feedback to continue to grow. On the other side of the table, we have people like Farmer Samson, who was so great in season 1 that we changed the rules. We said it was supposed to be a winner take all, but we said this guy has to leave here with something. We want to encourage him to continue. And we forced FMN to change the rules and award a first runner-up prize so that we could continue to encourage him. And watch that space. I won't say anything more, but he's doing really well. And we might get to hear from him very soon in the Prize for Innovation.
That's nice.
I would just say one more thing, if I can, that, it's not just Southerners. It's really people from all over Nigeria. I'm from the U.S., but I live in Kaduna. And we had, in season 2, our top 2 winners were both also players in the tomato value chain, which I was really happy to see, Eugene and Musa. And our company, Tomato Joss, is actually collaborating with both of those entrepreneurs even to this day, helping them out, bringing them to our farm, doing, what we call rubbing minds, and all of those things to help them continue to grow their businesses. So it's really not just what happens on the day of, and it's not just what happens to the winners. There's a whole ecosystem that I think FMN is trying to create.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the feedback part. I think that's very important, and it's not very, very common in these prizes and all of that, because, I mean, the feedback also helps the person who did not win today to become a winner tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's absolutely it. We do make sure that before we award the prizes, we give each of the 6 finalists very good feedback on. And one thing we also do is working in partnership with one of our judges, that's Adenike Adeyemi of the Faith Foundation. We also try and groom them in terms of their presentation and pitching skills ahead of the Prize for Innovation finals itself. So we try and make sure that they not only develop in terms of their business skills, but in terms of their presentation skills as well. So it's a well-rounded thing. We do keep in touch with all of our prize winners. We monitor the growth. I can tell you most of our winners have grown their businesses by at least 50% since they've been on the FMN PFI, as we call it. And we're very proud of what they're doing. And in fact, I'm pleased to announce that Farmer Samson is going to be a guest judge on this year's, just to show you the growth. He finished first runner-up, and he's now going to be a guest judge on this year's PFI.
That's very interesting. Yeah. So you have 6 finalists now. What's the next stage? When is it happening? How is it happening? What's up for grabs?
Well, next week, watch this space.
Close.
Yes. It'll be coming to your screens next week. Next week, we're looking forward to it. Yes.
All right. So, I mean, other than this now, okay, I'm just a bit of curiosity now. So you're doing livestock this year, last year, and all of that. How do you segment it?
Well, we do take different themes. We've looked at various things. We've looked at innovative practices in crop farming. We've looked at tech-enabled, tech-based solutions in agriculture. We've looked at, I think, we need to look at pests and diseases as well.
Maybe that'll be next year.
Yes. Talking about bird flu. You know, innovative practices. So we've looked at different aspects of crop production, and now we're looking at livestock production. We received quite a lot of tech-enabled entries, which are very exciting. So we're very much looking forward to reviewing those as well.
Yeah, tech is it now, everywhere. Final words from you, Mira?
Well, I just want to wish this year's finalists good luck, all of them. You know, we've been reviewing their pitches. I'm very excited to get in there and start asking questions. I hope everybody will tune in. It's a great group. I think there's going to be a lot of fun to be had, and hopefully some learnings as well. So I'm very excited for next week, and I hope everybody else is as well.
Yeah, I can feel your energy, so I'm excited. Final words from you.
Well, for me, FMN, Flour Mills of Nigeria, FMN, as we call ourselves, has been around for 65 years now this year. It started at the dawn of Nigeria's independence. It's actually 2 days older than Nigeria. So we're very proud of our impact in Nigeria. We're very proud of the work that we do and we continue to do in terms of feeding and enriching people's lives. And the PFI, or the Prize for Innovation, is just one of the ways in which we're trying to enrich people's lives and have impact. So I'm very proud of the work that we do at FMN.
Well, I guess I should say congratulations, FMN, and to both of you.
Thank you.
For all of this. Looking forward to the winner. Definitely. I know you're going to blast it all over. I can expect that. Well, thank you so much, Mira Mehta, co-founder and chief executive officer of Tomato Juice, as well as Sadiq Usman, group director, strategy and stakeholder with FMN. Thank you so much. Wish you the best.
Thank you, Imi.
As you conclude the Innovation Prize.
Bye.